Alright, guys, welcome back to another DOA6 video. So, how about that demo, huh? I mean, it's been a crazy couple days, and before I really get into anything, I feel that I owe a little bit of an explanation to me just being absent all this time when I clearly said that I was going to be making more content about DOA6. But the simple reason for that is it's just that the influx and just the outcome of information just got ridiculous at some point. Like, we were literally getting like updates and all this information about the game like every other day, right? And we were getting like these small snippets, like these small clips of each character like doing combos or like tech or whatever, you know, showing specific mechanic of the game. And there was just too much. Like, I literally couldn't go over it all. And yeah, that's basically the short explanation of it. But even with that, like, I also found that there were other people out there making content that were much better qualified, you know, or had it covered better than I did. And I want to extend a huge shout out to like Sakurai, Force of Nature, Rojiku, you know the guys. Like, I really want to like extend a shout out to them, you know, because they've been holding it down and doing a really good job of covering like various aspects of the game. And yeah, like I've said before, that I want this channel to mainly be focused on, you know, my main DOA, which is Jan Lee. But of course I also want to do like general breakdowns and like, you know, tech videos or whatever about like general mechanics of the game. But you know, things like that, just covering everything like that, just simply not something that I'm ready to do, really. So that's the short version of it, I guess. To really get into it now, like, yeah, that demo was some crazy shit, man. Like, I hope you guys like the combo video. And I got another video coming up before DOA6, but yeah, that was literally just me like going into every stage and just like pulling out one combo or like a couple of setups, and that was it, right? And even just that, like, you guys really seem to like. So yeah, I can't wait for DOA6, man. And like, I've been hearing a lot in the community about the game, you know, and it's not all good. Particularly, I mean, throughout all different communities, like, people have voiced various complaints and like various things that they have to say about the game. Like I said, sadly a majority have been pretty negative so far. But I was talking also with a lot of people like throughout the weekend, and they voiced similar complaints most of the time. And I understand that. Like, I have similar qualms and like things that I don't necessarily don't like about the game. But you know, just rather would see it adjusted a little bit. I mean, for all intents and purposes, the game is fucking amazing, like, in my opinion, at least. But yeah, you know, one of the main things, of course, that I've been hearing was like the sidestep. Of course, is like, it's like crazy good. And I find it pretty funny because in the previous like online beta test or whatever, like, people barely touch that mechanic. Like, there was barely any conversation about that. And I did test a bunch of things with the sidestep, and my thoughts on that kind of like mirrored into this demo. And just like out of nowhere, like, this crazy fucking just discussion and debate about the sidestep just popped out of nowhere. I was like, what the hell? And I was seeing just like some crazy nonsense. Like, I'm just gonna straight up say it. And again, I understand various points of views, but generally, like, I don't know, you have to go back to DOA5 and just look at the fucking sidesteps. Like, they had a lot of problems that weren't necessarily just like based around the mechanic. Like, in DOA5, each character had two moves or even more that you could do out of your sidestep, right? And they were clearly like some were clearly better than others. Like the sidestep in of itself like barely worked for shit, right? Like almost everything could retract in DOA5, and you know, like characters had like, for example, like lows off of sidestep, like high crushing lows, fucking command grabs, offensive pulls. Like it was crazy, right? And now for DOA6, like they managed to normalize it. Like the sidestep does what it's intended to do, and even that, people have been saying like, oh, my moves are going through the sidestep, like what the fuck is this? And I'm like, no, that's what it's supposed to do. Like the sidestep does have invincibility frames towards linear moves, but it has a recovery and a startup, so you can't punish that. And of course there's tracking moves where you can punish sidesteps really hard in this game. And also along those lines, like, you know, now every character has only one move that serves one purpose, like, you know, overall. It does decent damage. Some characters get combos off of them. Like, it's good, right? So I don't understand like some of the points people have been making about the mechanic. And like I said, there's been like complaining and discussions about various other things, like not just the sidestep, but yeah, generally the thing that I was talking with this guy, like I was saying that yeah, it could be like slightly different for the final game, you know, and they were like, well, no, because the game has clearly been done. It's been done for a long time, right? And I was like, yeah, but it could be different from this version still, you know? And they're like, no, like the game is literally out, like it's just finished. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, yes, the game has been shipped all throughout the world and it's been packaged and everything, but and a lot of people didn't understand this. Apparently, like the demo that we were playing is based on an earlier build of the game, right? It's not the final product per se. It's you know, it's been looked over before, like the demo that we were playing, and it's been revised, and you know, there could be very small or very big differences for the final game. So a lot of people didn't seem to understand it or even be aware of that. And I was like, that's crazy. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I also have voiced certain like certain things that I don't necessarily dislike but just don't agree with on the overall scheme of things. But like I said, as a general overview of the entire game, I think it's going in a very good direction. And the main problem that I find is that people will have to adapt, and I've been hearing that term being thrown a lot, but I mean it. Like, people will have to understand and learn how to play the game differently, basically. And I understand that's difficult for, you know, a lot of players, because we fucking played DOA5 for like 6 years or something, so I understand it's difficult to make the change, you know, and sometimes change can be bad for people. But what I've been telling like my inner circle of friends, like, you don't have to worry, like it'll come with time. And thankfully to how like simplified in a good way DOA6 is, like it will be easier to get used to it this time, you know. And the main thing is that, you know, I can just summarize it as that you can't just fucking go nuts in like with the offense and everything. No, like you actually have to think and find creative and like smart ways of getting in on the opponent, more importantly to maintain that momentum, you know. Like a lot of characters in DOA5 just had like what I'd like to call like built-in pressure mechanics, and that's for the most part gone in DOA6, and I love that, because again, it normalizes how the system works, and it gives characters that may not have like the speed advantage or things like that, it gives them a chance, you know, in some matchups that were really bad. So yeah, I mean, as a general overlook of the game, I think it's fucking good. Like, that's the best way I can put it. And again, I didn't make any like breakdowns for Gen Lee or anything like that, mechanics, because of, you know, the same thing that I just said, that like I want to wait until the full game to see all the real differences. And like, you know, I heard that there's like a day one patch and stuff like that, so you know, I really wanted to make my time with it. I want to make something that's accurate and that it's relevant to the game in its current state, not just some like crazy shit that people have been saying over a goddamn demo that's not even the final game. But anyways, that's just like my general view of the game right now and the community and stuff. You know, it's the nature of these let's talk DOA videos, you know, just me rambling my ass off, just going off on various tangents about the game. But you know, that's what I like doing. But besides that, I can safely say that again, this time it is for real. Like, once DOA6 drops, like probably like the first, maybe 2 first weeks, I'll be like, my life will be in the lab. Like, that will be all of it. Like, it will consist just of that. I'm not getting out of that lab. No one will be able to fucking drag me out. But yeah, you can expect a lot of content again, more, you know, those cool combo videos. I mean, in this demo, like, I barely played online. Yeah, I recorded some matches the final day, which you're seeing today, and I generally, you know, on the online beta test and on this demo, I didn't want to show like gameplay and stuff like that, because, you know, there's generally going to be like an influx of new players, and, you know, there's a lot of like matchy, like beginner gameplay, so, you know, I refrain from that. But, you know, for the sake of this video, for you just to not be staring at a goddamn image, I put that up. But yeah, you can expect a lot of more tech videos, you know, combos, like funny videos, match highlights, all that stuff, you know, for DOA6. But similarly, like, I want to take my time with the game, like I already said. And, you know, that's like the general like game plan, I guess you could say, for the channel. And then, you know, maybe somewhere along the line, like every so often, like videos about other games and stuff like that, you know, whatever I come up with. I'm still gonna be fucking putting up Dragon Ball FighterZ videos in the channel. I don't care if no one's watching. Like, I love that game. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of like the general like blueprint I got for that, I guess. Outside of that though, Twitch, I for those not aware, I do have a Twitch channel. I just don't really use it for streaming, but I do plan to you know, stream a little bit more when the game comes out and stuff like that, maybe matches, you know. One thing that I do want to, you know, stream when the game comes out is just like a general like gameplay and like overview of Jan Lee and his changes in DOA6, because, you know, just from the demo, like, oh my god, dude, for all intents and purposes, he's a different character now, basically. So, you know, I want to go over that when the game comes out, and I have a better understanding of like the game in general, right? But that's something that I have planned, and again, streams all over. And then beyond that, I recently created a Discord server, a dedicated Discord server for, you know, Jan Lee players. And I will be putting that in the description or whatever. You guys can join if you want. Again, it's going to be mainly for, you know, Jan Lee related stuff. I would appreciate it if, you know, you refrain from putting up stuff about other characters and stuff like that, you know. But generally, like, you know, you're free to join and, you know, just look around. We'll be sharing a lot of like cool tech, like different things, so, you know, you can definitely do that. And yeah, that's generally what I want to do with DOA6. Hopefully I do get around to doing all that. But yeah, man, like, we got like 2 fucking days until this game comes out. And it's crazy. I'm mad excited. I can't wait to really get my hands on the final game. But yeah, as a just like summarized, you know, very abridged version of what I wanted to say, I'd say it's pretty good for now. Again, like I said, there's been so much stuff that, you know, has come out and I haven't gotten a chance to cover, but, you know, all in its due time, I suppose. And, you know, didn't want to make the video too long or anything, but we'll have time for that later on. And, you know, as always, I thank you all so much for watching, all those that stick around till the very end. And yeah, also stick around the channel for all the craziness that's gonna come out of DOA6. Like, super excited for the game, and I know it's gonna be great. But yeah, thank you again all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.